Hey guys, back again. It is Empress Ruth. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and always viewing my channel. Um, just out in the night air and kind of relaxing. Had a very long week, and I was pretty exhausted. I had to work overnight, and I normally am able to finish my work in anywhere from 3 to 4 hours, and I'm out. Last night it took me like 6 hours, so I knew my body was tired. And then I had to, as soon as I got home, I had to start cooking. And so when I finished doing everything and running around, I sat down and I passed out. I don't think I woke back up until about 4 o'clock. That is extremely rare for me. So I knew I was exhausted, and my body was like, oh, we can shut down now. I guess I had to run myself delirious in order to fall asleep. But um, earlier I had talked about manifestation, and I'm sitting here in the backyard, and you can hear all the crickets and all the nature sounds, and it is just so extremely peaceful and summertime, so the weather is absolutely perfect at night. I'm just loving it right now. And one of the things that I had told my daughter, and I was speaking to an old friend of mine a couple years ago, and I was telling them that when I moved out of my apartment, whenever I left my apartment, that the next place I was going to live was going to be in my house, and that I was not going to pay anybody any more rent. And I stated that several times, and I meant that, not knowing that it was going to play out the way it played out, because I had a completely different vision of what that looked like. But you create your world. Straight up, straight up, straight up. You create your world. And that is what I envisioned for myself, that when I left my apartment, and how I left was not how I intended to leave. But spirit is just follow the direct. Follow spirit, no matter how crazy it sounds. Follow spirit. But I followed spirit, and I'm in my house. I'm not in the house that I planned on living in. It's a family home that was sitting empty. My mom still owns it. Don't want to have nothing to do with the house. And I'm living in my house, my home. My neighbor gave me a tomato plant. I just planted my tomato plant and enjoying my home. So you can create your reality all day long. But you gotta believe, you gotta believe, you gotta believe. Faith without works is dead. And when I say stuff, I mean what I say, and I say what I mean all the time. I don't sugarcoat, I don't play games. I can't stand lying. I can't stand a liar. Irritates me. And not that I haven't lied myself in the past, I have. And if I've told a lie, it might have been something so minor, and I would look at myself like, why did you just say that? And I have to go forgive myself for doing that, because when I would lie, I never felt right, so I don't do it. Not that I'm going to disclose all of my business. If someone asks me a question, if I feel like answering, I'll answer. And if I don't feel comfortable, I'll say, I don't want to discuss that right now, or I'm not, ready to have that conversation, instead of thinking of a lie. There's no reason to manipulate, no reason to live falsely. You can live honestly and without manipulation and without lying, and have it your way. Most people lie and manipulate to get their way. And guess what? You ain't got to lie, you ain't got to manipulate. All you have to do is create your world the way you want it to, and you can live free. Free. Free soul, free spirit, free mind, free heart, freely. when you're coming from a place of honesty and when you've done the work. You really have to go in, and they say shadow work. You have to go in and do the work. And all it is paying attention to yourself. When you recognize certain behaviors and patterns in yourself, address them. Be like, oh, why did I do that? How does that make me feel? I don't like that. I need to change it. That's all you're doing is addressing. You're being honest with yourself. A lot of people don't know how to be honest, so you start with you. You got to start being honest with yourself about who you are, what you're doing, why you react certain ways. It will begin the healing process. It's really that simple. And a lot of us don't want to deal with the healing process because it will bring up memories or things that are painful, or things that have occurred in your life that are painful, and you may not necessarily want to touch upon it, so you leave it alone and you kind of ignore it. But it never goes away if you don't deal with it, and that's something that you'll carry around for the rest of your life, and it's unnecessary. I see a lot of people in the world walking around, and a lot of people have vices, and a lot of these vices have to do with emotional scars and trauma that you have had since childhood. And if you never address it, you will walk around in your world using vices to mask the pain. Why mask it when you can fix it and get rid of it for good and live free? That means, yes, you have to do the work. That means, yes, you have to deal with some painful things that you don't want to deal with. Yes, that means you have to be honest with yourself. Yes, it takes work, but it's worth it. It's absolutely worth it. Will you lose things? Will people, leave your life? Yes, yes, and it's nothing worth having, or not that. Anything worth having is worth working for. Anything worth having is absolutely worth working for. So, and you are worth all the effort. So take the time and work on you. When you work on you and you heal your world, that means the world is starting to heal. The world can't heal because we are the people in the world. And until we heal ourselves, the world won't be healed. It's 1 plus 1 is 2. It's simple mathematics, which means, well, it's simple mathematics in that sense, but also goes to the other end, trigonometry, or whatever the highest degree of mathematics is. It goes on both spectrums. It's easy, and then it's difficult when you have to deal with your world, your reality, and healing yourself. But it's worth it. It's worth it. But I just wanted to check in and share that, and continue to sit out here and listen to nature, and enjoy my backyard and enjoy my home, which I manifested. Didn't see it working out this way, but I absolutely love how spirit has worked with me, and I have worked with spirit, and they got me exactly where I want to be, happy and free. But you guys have a good evening, and love you always.